So welcome to Angel's Envy. As someone born here, you may have seen this building before. We took it over in 2013. It was almost condemned, right?
Yeah.
Hadn't been really used since the 50s, but you can tell that the building is from 1902 if you look at this wall right here where the plaque in. So those stars are actually original, and you can see where the old brick meets the new brick.
Yep.
So it really speaks to our culture here at Angel's Envy, which is more about modern meeting classic.
Okay.
So of course we always look to the history of bourbon. Lincoln, who created Angel's Envy, was at Brown-Forman for 40 years, created really legendary whiskeys, and decided to do something on his own. So there was the opportunity to take all that history and modernize it. So that's what we do with finishing. So this is where we differentiate ourselves. We set ourselves apart, a secondary finish.
Okay, so you will take your bourbon out of a classic bourbon barrel and you put it into a port barrel?
Yes, ma'am.
And has the port barrel been used?
Yes.
For aging port? So port wine was in this, you pull that out, so you're gonna get some of those fruit flavors.
It really gives bright cherry notes, a little bit of like burnt orange almost.
It's gonna be subtle, but it's just gonna enhance.
Yes, enhance.
Beautiful. Cool. I like that it feels very Art Deco when you're walking in.
Yeah, we call it Bourbon Deco. It's a little modern take.
The first moment in is such joy.
Kentucky breakfast.
I love it. It smells like baking.
Yeast is a huge proponent of how to make alcohol. It basically eats all the sugar, and corn has what?
Sugar.
Lots of it, yum. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, the amount of heat coming off of this is crazy.
Right, so taste that. It's gonna be a little sour.
Okay, I like sour.
And we'll taste something that's a little more sweet.
Okay, so this is a day and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they all just rotate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's a little. This is gonna kind of be beer.
Beer,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
Then it gets distilled, right? And so then it turns into moonshine.
Yep.
And then it gets aged, and that's how we get bourbon.
Yes, ma'am.
And you'll use the same mash every single time.
Yeah.
Do you tell people what's in it and the amounts? You do,
We do
okay.
over here, actually. We want to make sure that you know what you're drinking and what makes bourbon. So we've got corn from Shelbyville. It's about 40 minutes away, so that's cool. It's super local. We've got 18% rye, so this is actually going to come from Canada, like the northern Midwest, where it's really cold. Yep. And then malted barley. The barley is going to have like chocolatey flavors, so that's just going to round everything out. But it's a really good temper for the corn to keep that fermentation going.
Because there's like an enzyme in the malted barley, is that correct?
Yes.
That makes the fermentation start?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, is this the only place you're making Angel's Envy Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskey is in this building?
Absolutely. Every single thing you're drinking on the shelf is made right here.
In Louisville, Kentucky?
In Louisville, Kentucky. Downtown. This is the column still. She's our workhorse.
Yeah.
Essentially putting out a 124 proof low wine, we call it.
Okay.
Or it could be ready for the barrel at this point.
Okay, so it could potentially go in right there, but you are gonna do one more step.
Yes, so once it gets to that 124 point, it switches over to the doubler. So we can tune it in, gauge it right to 138, and that's gonna give us a more floral, it almost feels more viscous and oily on the, both on the feel and the aroma and the palate. So it's gonna give us more complexity in our new make. And it's worth it to us to proof that down to 124.8 because we really love that spirit before it goes in the barrel, so that we're confident what's going to come out of the barrel is not only going to be affected, right, 80% by the barrel itself.
Okay.
But our new make is complex and delicious and amazing on its own. Every distillery has a spirit safe as sort of a nod to the past. I really love ours, of course, because it's that iconic shape of our bottle.
Yep.
On the top is the end of a Louisville slugger bat. So we just wanted to give a nod to the city itself.
Cool.
And Vendome, of course, built this beautiful safe as well as our still. So we're actually able to show people the entire process from, of course, the start of the cook. We fill all our barrels here, we dump all our barrels here, and we actually do our single barrel program here, and then it gets bottled here too.
That's amazing.
Yeah. These, of course, 53-gallon American oak barrels. It comes out like this. They put the 6 hoops together, and then they'll do a long toast, and it's by sight and aroma. So when they do a long toast like that, it brings all the caramelized flavors to the top.
Yeah.
It's that Maillard reaction like on a creme brulee.
Wow.
This is a number 3 char. It's about 35-second directly applied flame.
Indirect. And this is really kind of like when you're toasting a marshmallow, flaming it up and it's getting light brown.
Yes.
This is when you just put that whole marshmallow in the flame.
Literally, the woman at Kelvin Cooper, that's her analogy. This is called whiskey sugar. It's just basically where the whiskey is just pulling that sugar out and caramelizing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of rust lower, stored in the rick house.
Right.
More shiny on the bands, like that one back in there, probably higher. Angel's gonna show us how to thief What? Steal from the barrel? Yes.
You're gonna put this giant straw essentially down in, and it will fill up. Then you just put your little thumb on top, grab it out.
And that's how people can taste what's inside of the barrel.
Yeah, so we'll put this in a decanter. It's like a little beaker, and then we'll bring it back so they can taste.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
oh, this one is
sneaky.
picked, so I just messed that
kidding. Whoops.
up.
All right, let's have a cocktail.
Cheers, darling. That was a fun time. To bourbon.
Yum. Yum.
As they say in the furniture business, cheers.